I know you've clicked on this video hoping that there's going to be some way to get infinite motivation, but there isn't. Don't click off. I want you to understand, because there is a way to allow you to be more disciplined and allow you to put in more effort into your work. You see, motivation is a luxury. You can't always be motivated, but you can do the things to help improve your mindset so that you can get bursts of motivation throughout the day. And it can be helpful, really helpful towards your work. Motivation is essentially when you feel like doing something. I'm sure we already know that, especially if you've clicked on this video. So when you feel like doing a specific task. Now the problem that we'll come across is that we don't always feel like doing the tasks. Because sometimes they're difficult, sometimes we're tired, sometimes we're lazy, sometimes we're arrogant. We won't always feel like doing it, but that's us acting off our emotions. And we shouldn't act off of our emotions because they're not logical. They're not the things that's going to get us results. And the way that you can feel motivated for doing something is by finding your reason to do something. Finding your reason towards doing a certain task. Why are you doing it? I was never able to wrap my head around the concept of why, about finding a reason. But once you do, and it takes time, okay, it's not something that's just going to happen. You've got to meditate on it, you've got to think on it, you've got to write about it. And eventually you're going to find your purpose. Eventually you're going to find your why. And then that's what's going to motivate you to move forward. That's what's going to motivate you to get out of bed and do the work. Understand? It's about having a why. There's this quote, "He who has a why can bear almost any how." So as long as you have your reason, as long as you have your purpose, as long as you have your why, you can bear any weight of how to get there. Because you have your reason. And that's your motivation. The reason people can't be motivated for something is because they don't have a why for it. They don't have a reason to push forward, to do it, to do the work. And sometimes that can even be driven, their why can be driven by shame, by sympathy, by pain, by suffering. By the way, bro, my name is Vanch. I upload 2 to 3 self-improvement videos, motivation, advice, etc. on my channel every day. And hopefully there's something in there that can help you improve your life and give you that motivation to move forward. So I want you to go down, click on the subscribe and the post notifications so you can see more videos like this and I can teach you. It's a win-win for both of us. Sorry I have to be a YouTuber. Let's go back to talking about motivation. And that's also a why. But you just have the other side of the spectrum of it where you're using negative emotions but using them towards something positive. And that's something you can do. If you're stuck in a rut, if you've had a negative situation happen to you recently, it's a ball of energy. That's what it is. I want you to compress it down and think of it as just a ball of energy. Define your negative emotions as a ball of energy. And it's something that you can transfer towards the things that you find most meaningful, the things that you find most purposeful. And that's what you have to do. You have to find your purpose. What's your reason? I'll give you an example. For me, my sense of motivation, I used to be really confused on what it was that would motivate me. And I only recently just discovered what it was that pushes me forward. You see, I like helping people. And I feel like it helps me push me and the world forward together. And what motivates me when a bad time presents itself in front of me is that if I push myself through this bad time, if I push myself through this bad week, and I get to the other side with the results that I wanted, I can use that as a way to motivate other people, as an example to motivate other people. So if someone comes up to me saying, "Vanch, I've had this bad week," or "I have this bad thing coming up, and I don't know if I can do it," I can say, "I did this here. I'm no different to you. So I truly believe you can do it. As long as you sit down and do the work." And that can help motivate other people. That can help push other people forward, which is why I embrace the hard times. This is why I embrace the workload that comes with it, so I can push through it. I can do the work and use that as an example to push other people forward. And that's what my motivation has been. Because if I push through this hard week and I film a video saying this is how you push past bad times, I have the evidence and the experience to say, look, I did it, so can you, because I'm no different. And I know you're watching this thinking, oh no, it must be so easy for you, but it's not. It's not easy. It's hard. And that's the point of it. It's supposed to be difficult, because if I pushed past this hard time because it was difficult, then that experience has value. And then that's what you have to do. You have to find your motivator. You have to find the motivation factor. You have to find your purpose. What is it that makes you get out of bed in the morning? What is it that makes you want to do the hard work? And it's not like you don't have discipline. I've talked about this before. There's something that motivates you to get out of your bed to play video games. There's something that motivates you to grab your phone, go on incognito, go on Pornhub and scroll there for like an hour, fucking edging yourself, wasting time. That's a long time. But that's discipline. And there's something that motivates you to do that. There was a purpose behind it. And the problem that arises, right, is that with porn or with video games, you know the outcome and you know the feeling of actually succeeding, the feeling of finishing, the feeling of winning a game. You know the feeling, you know what to run towards, and you know what to run away from. So when you start scrolling on porn, you know you're going to feel good, so you're running away from the bad feeling that you had before. And with video games, you know what it feels like to lose, and you know what it feels like to win, so you use that to run away. So you have something to run away from, something to run towards. That's your motivator. So you know what these motivation factors are. Now the problem that arises, right, and the reason people find it so hard to do the good habits is because they're difficult. And they haven't stayed consistent enough with the good habits to reap the benefits and see what it feels like and how good you feel from actually doing the good things. You see what I'm saying here? So if they don't know what it feels like to benefit from doing the good habits, they don't have anything to motivate them. They don't have a reward to run towards because they don't know what the reward feels like. And they only know what the effort feels like. So if you only know what the effort and the hard work and the pain and the suffering feels like, you don't have a motivation to push towards something because you think that it's wasted time. You think that it's just pain and you're inflicting suffering on yourself for no reason because you don't know what the reward is. You don't know what the reward feels like. And people can tell you, oh, it feels like this, but that's not enough. That's not enough to motivate you and actually push towards something because you don't know what the reward feels like. And your body doesn't know what you're pushing towards, which is why you're so lazy towards moving towards it. So understand that. And I know it's difficult, and I know it feels like that there's going to be no sort of progress from your end, but I'm telling you there is. There's going to be a reward at the end. You just have to stay consistent. Listen, right? Consistency won't guarantee your success, but being inconsistent will guarantee you to be unsuccessful. So keep that in mind. As long as you're consistent, it's really, really hard to be unsuccessful. So just keep doing the good habits, and your motivator will eventually come. You have to go through the hard times, and if you go through the hard times, then you will eventually find what your motivator is. And then that will skyrocket your progress. It's exponential. It's genuinely, so you know the graph? Exponential. At the start, it's slow. But eventually, after you hit that point of motivation and purpose, boom, you skyrocket. And you have to go through that shit time to eventually get to that point of purpose. And then you can push through. And everyone's purpose is different. I've explained to you mine. And you have to find yours. And honestly, I have sympathy for those who aren't able to find their purpose. And especially during school time. I'm on my last year of school. Thank fucking God. But for you guys who have a couple years left, I have sympathy for you. Because The reason you can't focus in school, the reason that you're lazy, the reason you can't find motivation to do your studying is because you don't believe it has a higher intention. You don't believe it has a purpose. So you can't motivate yourself to sit down and do the work because you don't believe it works towards something, and you're right. Most of the time, the stuff they're teaching you doesn't work towards something. The education system is flawed in that way. And that's a completely different topic, but you understand what I'm saying is that if you don't think that it has any higher intentions, that you won't be able to motivate yourself and give yourself that purpose to push forward through those difficult times of studying and the hard work and the efforts. And that's why you can't motivate yourself for school. And I feel sorry for you. I have sympathy for you because it's hard. And it's difficult. And there's no purpose to it, but it has to be done. And that's what you have to realize, that life as a man, even though there's sometimes where you don't feel motivated, there's sometimes where you don't feel like there's a purpose, you have to do it anyways. And that's the most important aspect of being a man. And eventually, after you get out your ruts, after you get out your problems, after you push through the efforts and the hard work, your purpose will find its way into your life. But it's not something that's going to fall into your lap. It's something that comes from the hard work. It comes from you putting the efforts in. It comes from putting the hours in. And eventually, your purpose will come and slot its way into your work as a man. And that's what's going to improve your life. And that's what's going to improve the lives of everyone around you, because you're looking after yourself. You found a purpose. You found a reason. You found a motivation. You found the factor that's going to push your work forward. And that's what motivation is. And that's how you stay motivated. It's your purpose. That's how you stay motivated all day. Have a reason. Have a why. Your purpose and your why is the reason that you're going to continue to move forward. That's your motivation factor. It's not just going to come into your lap. It's something that you have to bring into your life through hard work and discipline and effort and hours put in. And that's it, man. That's your motivation. This video is your motivation to start. This video is your motivation to do the hard work. This video is your motivation to get things done. And eventually your purpose will find you, as long as you're doing the right things. Okay, bro, go get it.